Let's go check them out. Let's go check them out. What up, Bob? Yo, you guys ain't know something Control Volume 1 joint?
Here we are. We back. We back for part 2. We back for part 2, everyone. What's going on? This is Rated. Chilling over here with GA. Ready to get into the second part of the interview. If you haven't seen the first part, you really need to go and look for it. Look for GA1 NSK interview part 1. It's online now. Check out what he has to talk about. And we're just going to pick up off after what we discussed in the part 1. And we covered quite a lot. We covered all the way from 1980s, early 80s, up to about the deaths of Sony and Slick in that era.
Break it up.
Yes. Am I coming in clear to you?
Not really. You're breaking up there a little.
All right.
Breaking up.
Why don't you say what's up to everyone out there that's watching this interview, G?
What's good? What's good, everybody? What's up, fans, friends? What's good, man? I'm here. I'm blessed. I woke up today. Thank God. You know? Yeah, man. What's up, cuz?
Doing well, man. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get the Brooklyn Bridge or the Manhattan Bridge on the back, but I've got a bridge nonetheless.
It's close.
We covered so much in the first part, and we wanted to go and continue this conversation and learn more about, you know, what you've done in the art industry, the graph industry, and other elements of hip hop and art as well. So let's pick up where we left off. Let's start off where you've regained chapter 4 of U5, because you're one of the co-founders of U5. And let's talk about your relationships with some of the U5 preses, starting with Audi, of course, the first one.
Well, I mean, while I was chilling with Audi, he came check me. We did a couple of train maps together and stuff. It was cool. Like, we forgot about all the bullshit drama that happened in the past when we was younger and stuff, you know. But I mean, it is what it is, you know. We live and learn and we, you know, forgive, you know. And that was all what it was, you know. And then Troop, I hang out with Troop. We go run into Troop and art shows and galleries and stuff like that. We, you know, and we hang out, we chill, and we run into Nash. Nash hangs out with us sometimes when he runs into us, and it's all love. It's all love, man. It's all love, you know.
How about Arc U5? You get any comments with him?
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, when I go to Florida, I go see him definitely. You know, he comes out to New York. I remember last time seeing him in New York. I mean, I think it was somebody in his family had passed away. He came down, and I wound up showing up to the funeral. And like I said, I go to Florida, check him out. I mean, yeah, he just had a baby. He had a baby girl too. So God bless him and Jess. That's what they were pushing for, to get one, and he finally got one.
That's right. Yeah, I had a chance to stop and see him when I was in Florida not too long ago. He's doing well.
Yeah.
So around early 90s, early 1990, 91, at that point, U5 disbandings. No more bringing people into the chapters. U5 is done. We're disbanded. So do you recall that period? And if so, you know, how was that impact? Because you were part of U5 1987 when we began, and all of a sudden now, fast forward that 1991, we disbanded U5. So what was going through your mind when that occurred?
Well, in the beginning 90s, I mean, we was still doing our thing a little bit, but it just started slowing down. Everybody started getting older and started getting more responsibilities, like they had to go to jobs, work and stuff like that, and take care of families. So everything started getting a little slower. And then I had my son like 90, and I had to figure out my life. Like, am I gonna keep doing this? Am I gonna be doing what I do in the streets? Between like selling drugs. So I made like a big sacrifice for myself. Basically, I told myself if I have this boy, I have to slow down the shit I do. I wanted to be around for my kid. I didn't want my kid to grow up not having a dad. Either me and buried underground or me doing a life bid in jail. So I had to check myself. I had to really check myself. So I wind up working a regular 9 to 5 job in this printing company. That's how I started making the graph news magazines. But I was doing that for about a good 16 years. I mean, not that I stopped writing graph. I didn't stop writing graph at all. I slowed down in writing graph. I was like, I used to take the trains, put up stickers. Me and my cousin Flacco taking the train. I remember having like a friendly battle with Ass WTO one time. He's like, yo, I've been putting up mad stickers. And again, I had mad stickers back in them days. We had stickers
Yeah, boxes and boxes of stickers.
fucking forever. A lot, says, it. So, I mean, it was a friendly battle. And I remember one day we ran into on the J line. I think it was Murder on Broadway. And he goes, "Oh, okay." He goes, "See you, you got it, you got it." He goes, "You can have stickers every time I turn around. You up in all these insides." And I was like, "Yeah," I said, "You too." But he goes, "Nah, you got it." So it was pretty fun. It was cool. But yeah, I mean, I just had to chill. But then I was like, I mean, this grafting is like a drug to me. It's like you got to do it once in a while, like
Hmm.
however way you feel, you could probably feel angry one day. Fuck that, I'm going outside and go do a walk. I'm gonna go do a bomb or whatever it is. Or you can just have a good free time and just like, you know what? I'm gonna go chill with the fellas, go paint this wall. It all depends. But yeah, I was in and out of it. And then once my son started growing up and he started seeing the graph, and he grew up in the tattoo shop,
Hmm.
up, and he seen like pieces every time we walked around. He seen graffiti, doughies, burners here, there. So he was just all into the stuff. Like I was when I was a kid, and I'm lucky. I would walk with him and I would explain to him, this is that person, this is what this means, this is what this crew is. So he grew up knowing a lot for a young kid. As a graph writer, also with the hip hop music, like. I DJ'd and I played a lot of music and I produced stuff. So he should be like he knew all the old school music before all these kids his age didn't even know, but he knew them
Right.
because of me. But yeah, as he grew up, he just started wanting to tag, and he had like a bunch of little weird tags here and there, like we all did. Like I said, I wrote A Wiz. Who the fuck writes A Wiz? Don't make fun of me. But yeah, so he had a bunch of little tags here and there, and he created his own little style. And of course, he seen me, and he would ask Dad how I would connect this, how I would do this. So he got a little of my styles, a couple of his styles, and you know, again, you look around and all, it depends on where you at. You pick up little knickknacks of pieces and styles and stuff that you could probably get off of it and create your own from that. And the kid's pretty good, man. He's good. Again, he writes Spiral. So we see that he got a lot of freight trains. He got a lot of freight trains, man.
Huh.
Yeah.
Let's talk about from graffiti, you started branching out into other areas, particularly music. I know we covered a lot of it during the part one of the interview. Um, are you still keeping in contact with Gems and Popcorn? And of course, your brother was down in the NSK album Rad.
Yeah.
So any plans in the future to continue NSK with music?
I mean, everybody moved on. Everybody moved on. Everybody's doing their own thing. But yeah, I keep in contact with everybody. Gems right now, Les, he works for BET. He deals with a lot of behind the scenes with a lot of the celebrity hip hop rappers and even actors. You know, he does a lot of interviews with them. So he got his hands on into the industry. He's doing good. Bless him. He just got married also.
Wow.
And the music, like Rad, me and Rad once in a while we mess around with the music still. Like we get bored again, like, okay, it's time, let's do something, you know? So I give Rad a concept. I talk about like how I want him to say this or the topic of this, the hook should be this, writes it down, and he comes back to me. Here it is, we lay it all out. And we got a couple of music. We got songs out there. Let me show you. This right here, if y'all can see it
Oh
closely,
yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
it's our first vinyl that we dropped. This was back in '99. And it's called Can I Rock? It was with Rad and Popcorn.
Hmm.
Um, this is called Game Over One. We did this with Master Ace, Mr. Cheeks, a lot of celebrity rappers too. I produced some of these tracks on here, and this is Game Over Two.
Man.
This was with it got KRS-One, Master Ace, Eminem, some Spanish rappers from Puerto Rico, and I mean stuff I did, and I hope to.
So for those that are watching this video, are we able to go maybe scout eBay or Amazon and find some of these albums, some of that vinyl?
Yeah, some of those vinyl they call the record company. We made up this record company called Yusumi. Everything is none of it has our name on it. It was just because we had a bunch of artists that it's like basically a mixtape on a vinyl.
Okay.
That's what we basically did.
I
You
love
know. So,
you saw me.
yeah, we did a lot of crazy stuff on there. It was funny. We made this video, a track with like Mario Brothers beat on it. So of course we didn't clear it, so we, put it up there. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So then at some point you wind up departing Bushwick and you moved out of Bushwick. You headed over to Ridgewood for a while, was there for a bit, and then you left Brooklyn altogether and headed over to where you're at now. So how was that a change? Not to go name where you're at, but how was it? Was it a big drastic change mentally, your environment? I know we've got family out there, that sort of thing, so that helps out a lot. But it's different because Bushwick, Bushwick wound up becoming like a mecca for graffiti, where people were actually taking tourist trips to go and see the graffiti in Brooklyn and Bushwick, where we were raised and brought
Well, the
up.
Bushwick Collectives. Shout out to the Bushwick Collectives. Yeah, I mean, they throw events every year. They have a bunch of artists and graffiti writers go do all these burnings and in murals on these factories that used to be factories. Now they're like clubs, they're studios, lofts, and stuff like that. And this goes on for blocks and blocks, around the corner, up the block, this way, and I mean, it's like so much artwork, and is awesome to see. You walk, and all you're doing is looking back and forth, for all this great art that's there for you to see. And then once they finish that, they throw a big, huge block party. They have a couple of celebrity rappers and singers come out, big stage in the middle of the street, and you know, great vibes. Nothing ever turned out bad. No fights, no nothing. And good vibes all day.
How did you feel about other street artists, not necessarily graffiti artists, but folks like Banksy and others that were out there doing their artwork. They I don't know whether they claimed they were graffiti artists. Some people said that they were. Some people said they weren't.
That's the problem. That's the problem, though. Like Bansky, everybody claims Bansky's a graph artist. He's not a graph artist. You don't see him spray painting, doing burners with arrows, or he goes with a stencil, cardboard, or whatever. 1, 2, 3, paints it and keeps it pushing. That's
Yeah.
not that. He's an artist. Shout out to Bansky. Y'all got no. I'm not hating on him, but you can't call him a graph artist. You can't
Well, he's
call
not a
him.
graffiti artist, basically. You're saying he's not a graffiti artist.
But there's a lot of people that want to like when you hear it in the newspaper and the news and stuff like, oh, graffiti artist Bansky, and I'm like, he's not a graffiti artist. Like, calm down,
I think it's for those folks that live overseas, particularly in Europe, that they see anything that's scribbled on the wall, and for them it's graffiti. Oh, it's graffiti, but it's not. It's street art. It's nice, and you see all kinds of art. I've seen people
Funny
go.
about And the funny about this guy is like he does his little cute, good, nice stencil work on the wall, and everybody thinks the shit is worth like $1 million now. Oh, because he put it on there. Well, how about all the other great work that's up there? Why can't that be worth millions? You know what I mean? When people are really putting in colors and time and effort into it, why is that not worth anything?
I remember back in the days when we were taking photographs in Brooklyn, and I think we had camera across. It was either the Lee with the vampire, he was putting a stake to the vampire's heart,
Right.
or the other one with the big lion. And like, I mean, that was a work of art. That's like something we would take the whole entire handball court and transport it to a museum, because it was a work of art for that time, that period.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, that right there excites me more than this little stencil stuff, But hey, whatever. That goes with the same thing with the hip hop, But hip hop started changing crazy. It went from nice, good music, you bob your head, good storyline to it. So now everybody want to kill each other, talk about a crew, let's kill this crew, and I shot this guy, and this guy gonna get to tomorrow. Like, it's crazy. Like, relax, guys. It gives me anxiety when I hear this shit now, like, are they talking about me now?
I mean, to this day, I'm still stuck in the old school rap. I mean, and this is even like Run DMC and also the other duo, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I used to love their genius rap, Red Flash and the Furious Five MCs, and even people like Curtis Blow and that style, whatnot, where it's not so much profanity, not so much I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do this to your girl.
Biggie Smalls, Nas, I still listen to like Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, them guys, Wu Tang. But yeah, I mean, it just right now it's just like it's crazy. I mean, there's some good music out there, but it's got to change. It's got to come back. I don't know. Somebody's got to change it.
The internet and graffiti. Now you've got, from back in the days when it was just MySpace and some chat rooms and some blogs, graph has gotten kind of watered down, in my opinion. Now you can go on YouTube and you see people doing their artwork and showing people how to do bubble letters or simple letters or whatnot. It's almost like it's not, you don't have that feeling you get when you're a graffiti artist and you're looking around, making sure that the cops aren't around, or a crew's not going to roll up on you or something like that. Now it's just like fantasy land. You're doing your artwork and you just step by step, everyone's so patient with you and hold the spray can in this way. And you got all these different nozzles. Back in the days when we used to go and get the nozzles to go and write our names really thick, you taught me how to go and use the gem blade and slit the tip of the front of the nozzle and make it like a little cross. And then when you go and you start spraying, you have that thick tag. So things have changed now with the internet.
Well, I remember too, back in the days, I used to go to Woolworth and steal all the New York fat caps that used to be on the starch cans. So I used to go, and sometimes people used to beat me to it. So I used to like, oh man, they took the cap already, and go next one, But I used to find like they had the New York fat caps on those. So I remember going to Woolworth and taking fat caps and stuff like that. But that was the only thing that we had. Or like you said, slice the goddamn thing in the middle, or take a hot pin and hit the middle inside and make it a little fatter. But you know, of course, that came with a lot of fucking mess. It was like all over our hands at the end of the day. You know, now they got skinny caps, fat caps, medium caps, calligraphy caps, cans, high pressure, low pressure. You know, it's like shit. You know, they got it good now. They got it good. We were struggling. We were struggling with Rust-Oleums and Krylon cans, you know. But
I
I
remember
mean,
when the candy paint had the paper wrapper around it. The Krylon had the paper wrapper.
yeah, I got one of those still too. I got old school Krylon up here, real old Krylon from the '80s. Got it up there.
So tell me about one of your biggest moments. You appeared in this movie right after doing some bombing in one of these trains, and I'm just gonna let you tell the story about this movie that you appeared in.
Oh, okay. Now we're talking about Coming to America. Yeah, Coming to America. Yeah,
Eddie
so
Murphy.
I was with Ark and a couple of fellas, DY. We went to Grant Layup. I believe that was the Sea Line. And yeah, we went up in there, we destroyed trains, and then I remember like I think it was like 6 months or a year later, we went to go see this Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to America. And I remember the scene when the girl runs down the train station and he chases her down. And when he's running down the platform, the train is pulling up.
Right.
And the train is pulling up. I got 4 GA tags on the door. That shit, I felt like I was a celebrity. I jumped up on my seat, screamed, "That's me!" Yeah, like yo, I was so hyped. People looking at me like, "Shut the fuck up, sit down," you know. And I'm like, "That's me." So then I was like, I was so hyped. I was just like, "Whoa, that's me!" And you know, in my head. So I'm watching the rest of the movie, and the inside they walking inside inside the train, and he's walking behind her, chasing her, and the two old ladies that are sitting on the seat, they looking up at him, and right behind the lady's head is another GA tag. I jumped up again. Like I was crazy hype. But yeah, but I came out in a couple of other ones after that. I came out in New Jersey Drive. I had a quick tag in there. I came out in Power on 50 Cent, one of his episodes. Um, he's standing there talking with Tariq and got a big GA1 tag behind there. Yeah, yeah.
So you had as your tag was GA. What did GA stand for those that are just tuning in and coming across this interview?
Well, it stands for gifted artist. Definitely. Thanks to my boy DSR.
DSR, shout out DSR. And,
Uh, Thanks to him.
so
He's seen the future. He's seen the future in me, obviously.
he saw your potential. That's what he saw.
He said, "You're gonna make it." Yeah, man.
Now, when it comes to some of the graph, I know you've written with so many folks, but what were some of the most enjoyable artists that you went out bombing with or doing a wall with that he was like, man, this is a dream come true. I'm doing a wall with so and so.
Well, I painted with a lot of people, man. I mean, a lot of top guys too. But my favorite one was painting with Per One FX Crew.
I,
Favorite one.
I
Yeah,
remember we used to go and get photographs and put in your Graph News magazine of Per and also Tats Crew. And
yeah. I mean, I met Per a few years way back. I think in the early 2000s. I met him. I hired him to do a canvas for my tattoo shop, and him and Snow busted out whatever. I went and picked it up at his house in the Bronx. That's when I was in Bushwick, and we you know every once in a while we'll hit each other up, But I had moved to the Bronx. And I was close to his house. So I remember running into him. He was doing a war with Hef. And I linked up. We started talking, yo, this and that. And he was like, yo, you moved out here? I was like, yeah. So we just started linking up, hanging out. Like, I'll go chill in his crib. He'll come pick me up at the tattoo shop. You know, and just we'll go have something to eat, or we'll just go, you know, we'll just chill. And my first time painting with him, I remember I felt like I was nervous. Like, this fucking guy, he is nasty. I think he's one of the best artists in the Bronx. Blending wise, his skills, blend wise, is off the hook.
Mm.
Like no other. So I remember painting with him, and he was telling me, GA, he goes, your shit better come out good. He goes, I'll never go paint with you again. And he had me so like, I was like, oh my God, and nervous. And it was like, I normally paint pretty quick. And this time I was like, I just blanked out, didn't know what to do, because I was like, I gotta match his style, match his, you know, everything. And as I was painting, I would step back, look at his shit, look at mine. I kept going, man. He's like, GA, and he just kept saying that, GA, it better come out good. And I'm like, oh my God, can you just shut up? Just stop saying that, you know? But he came back then. He like kind of tweaked my stuff once, you know, every once in a while. Like, he'll look at it, or like, that look good, but if you do this and this and that. So I'm just looking at him like, I really don't let nobody mess with my piece. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Now I feel like a student. So he was just tweaking it and making it look good. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, okay, go back to your piece, go back to your stuff. Like, don't touch mine. And I go back and finish up my piece. Next thing you know, it was like, and we just laughing, having laughs and painting. And we both finished it. We looked back at it, and he goes, GA. He goes, I'm proud of you. He goes, it looks good. I go, but you helped me. He goes, nah, but it still looks good. I was like, okay, all right, that's what's up. So yeah, that was like one of my favorite, painting pieces with him, man. Yeah.
So go from the good to the scary moments. What was one of the scariest moments you had when you're out there doing your thing?
Oh man, I remember one time it was me, Ali, Ark, and some chick. I forgot what she writes, Divine or something like that. It was, and
Yeah.
we was in 111 layup. We doing a bunch of insides. We killing the insides, killing it. So we all in one cart. So next thing you know, we hear doors open behind us. We
Mm.
look, it was the squad. They were trying to get us. So
Oh.
we running through the cars, finally jumped down into the tracks. They coming right after us. And we finally get to like almost the next station. But Audi goes, nah, let's jump onto the roof into of a building. And I'm looking at him like, jump onto the roof. I'm like, bro, I'm 5'5". You want me to jump onto the roof? So Ark is like, yeah, come on. And I'm sure that chick, I don't even know what happened with that girl, Divine. I think
Mm.
she probably got caught, or she went some other way. But I remember Audi jumps off the fucking track onto the roof. And I'm looking this is going on. I'm looking to the right, and I see these Vandal squads. They still coming. They still coming. And I'm
Oh.
like, oh shit. So I'm like, do I keep running to the next platform, or do I jump? Right? So it was like a double Dutch moment. Like, do I? You know what I mean? So then Art jumps. I'm like, wow. Next thing you know, I'm like, all right. So I remember when I jumped, I closed my eyes because I was like, if I fall, I don't
Oh
want to see.
gosh.
So
So you
I
go from the tracks on a high platform across to
onto
the roof.
the top, right? And
How many
that's the
how many
whole.
stories is that? How high is that platform? Like 4 stories? 5?
About 4 stories, yeah, yes. And oh man, I remember when I landed on the roof, I did like extra rows because I just had to make sure I was on this roof. So then my heart was in my ass. And then we ran down the fire escape, and the roof that we jumped on, it happened to abandoned building, which was great for us. So then we got into one of the empty apartments through the fire escape, and we hung out there for a few hours, and we just kept hearing the cops go back and forth. You know, the sirens, and we hung out there for a little bit, and then after we stopped hearing it, it was like coast is clear. We got out the building, and we started walking up little side streets, that little dark side streets, just to get away. Yeah, that was the craziest moment. That
Wow,
was cool.
that's crazy. That must have been one hell of a jump.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So everyone's in it to win there. Everyone wants to get something out of what they're putting in. You've put in like 43 years in the game. That's a long time. There's not that many people that are committed like that. I've only seen a few that have been doing this relentlessly, just on, nonstop.
Nonstop, man. Nonstop. I'm dedicated, like a drug to me. I mean, at least I'm not hooked on no drugs or anything. That's my drug, you know? Painting walls, getting up. That's what I like to do. I'm not hurting.
Is there something that you believe that graffiti needs, that graph needs at this point? Do they need to go and take it another step to the left, another step to the right, or roll back to the old school practices? What do you think graph needs at this point?
Well, Graf just needs more, like, I mean, we gotta New York is New York is cluttered with graph artists. I mean, you gotta really go out there and really bomb hard in New York to get really recognized, known, whatever. I mean, you gotta really bomb, and you gotta do something that's sometimes different. That way your name sticks out more than others, you know? And like, I don't know, everybody just on this beef shit. Like, relax, bro. Like, there's places you don't gotta go over somebody. Just move over to the left, move over to the right, go above them, go underneath them. You don't gotta, everybody's just so crazy about that. I mean, and I understand it and I get it because I was one too. You was one too, but as we get older and we see this shit, it's just like, is it worth it? Is it worth getting sliced in your face? Is it worth getting beat down with a bat just because you went over this dude? Or, is it really worth it, bro? It's not worth it.
I think that
This
I think that when we started that back, in the 80s, whatnot, like we didn't realize how perilous it could be. We didn't realize like the real no shit danger involved, with graffiti. It wasn't just writing, taking a chance or writing your name on a wall. It went beyond that. You had a lot to worry about. The work bums, the police, the vandal squad, other crews. I mean, anything can happen. And what I wanted to do right now, if I want to switch gears, and I want to just mention, I want to go through a list, just a few names. And if any of these writers that I name, if you've ever written with them, or if you know of their artwork, know a little bit about them, or know them, or knew them personally, just maybe make a comment about the person that I say their name on.
Let's go. Let's do it. Oh,
All right, all right. Let's start off. Tracy.
Tracy. Oh man, legend, cool dude, little tough old man. He was cool. Man, he rest in peace. He just passed away. Bless you, bro.
Yeah, R.I.P. Tracy. How about Baby 168?
Maybe 168. To me, in my eyes, legend. King. He used to destroy the shits back in the days. I used to love watching his BYs or his whole Baby 168 floaters, and man, killed it. Respect.
Blade.
Blade, cool dude. I remember meeting Blade years back too. Yeah, he does his thing. He's one of the ones that opened up this graph thing to everybody. Everybody watched him, and like, what was that? Subway art? Was it
So
Subway
we
art?
are. Yep. So we are was that big old piece that you had there. I think I'm gonna have a copy of the book as well.
The little gnats flying around.
How about Tacky?
Tacky, old school, original. I got a canvas from Tacky. Yeah,
Ooh,
man, he one of the first guys that hit the trains back in nowadays in the '60s and '70s. Yeah. Shout out to Tacky.
Duster.
Duster, he's back. Duster's back. I just seen some stuff in the highway not too long ago. on the Bruckner. I was like, okay, he coming back. He's doing his thing. Bless you, bro. Peace.
J.A.
J.A. King always gonna be king, bro. Regardless, you love him or hate him or what, man. That boy's out there. He's still then and now still killing it.
Ghost.
Post. Love his pieces, man. Little weird, little crazy, but you should see his walls now. He got a bunch of little throwies here, there. Man, kills it. Good job, bro.
MQ.
MQ. I don't know too much about MQ, but I think to me he's a sticker king. I've seen a lot of stickers of his shit. A couple of throwies, but I see more stickers.
Vifer.
Bifa, he's the all city guy. I remember Bifa, cool dude. All city.
Easy.
King. Real all city. Everywhere. All city for years, nonstop. Never ends.
Fib.
Bib, he's pretty good. He went all city a few times also, but he travels out of state also. He does his thing.
Jaws.
Bro, Jaws was another all city king. When he killed it with Easy back in the 90s. That's when I first started seeing him. I remember one day I woke up in Bushwick and I just see nothing but Jaws and Easy big stompers all the way from Wyckoff all the way down Knickerbocker Avenue. I was like, holy shit, these guys destroyed it one night.
Kaz 5.
All City King. Cool dude, man. I remember him from he was a kid to grown ass man, killing it. Man, rest in peace. Cast 5. YKK crew.
Spot.
Spot. Yo, he's a mural guy, bro. He does his pieces nice and clean. Still good, man. I mean, I respect him. I like his work. Yeah, man.
Okay, here's the guy that showed us how to do artwork on BVDs back in the days. Show.
Oh man, rest in peace, my boy Show. Even before we even painting together, we should do some crazy shit together, like some crazy shit. We got history together, me and Show. Yeah.
DG.
EG, another one of my homies, man. He rests in peace. Yeah. Cool dude. He does pieces on trains. He's killed the trains. He's have the hood smashed up too. Yeah, man. DG, rest in peace. NWC crew.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite? I mean, you've had your own graph news from back in the days, black and white, and then you went into color. I mean, your magazines got around the world. But did you have any favorite graph magazines yourself?
Favorite magazines, I remember I helped out on Crazy Kings, Mitch 77. He was from Jersey. Came out with this magazine, Crazy Kings. And a lot of the pictures that came on in that magazine was like extra pictures that I had. So I hooked him up with that way he can get started with his mag. And then he came out with a Crazy Kings 2. And that was about it. And then Flashbacks was by Poem. And that was another fly magazine. He had Luma and Tatch Crew and a bunch of other artists from like different countries. It was a dope magazine.
What about the graffiti movies? Any popular movies that you like watching about graffiti?
It was Wild Style. Wild Style was my favorite.
Well, stop.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of good movies. They got a lot of stuff, but Wild Style is there. It caught my attention.
Well, you got involved with quite a other things. You got involved with tattooing business as well. What made you get into tattooing?
Well, again, I wasn't too young, but I used to watch my Uncle Ralphie tattooing, like his homies and, people that he knew who were like this homemade tattoo machine. And I used to be like, I could do that. If I'm a graph artist, I think I could do that. You know? And I like, me, I'm nosy. I'm just like if there's something interests me, I'm gonna go ahead and try it. I'm gonna try it.
Any
So
of those tattoos that you got on your arms now, one of the original tattoos?
oh yeah, yeah. This one right here is like first tattoo I did on myself. I remember Uncle Fred bought me me and Uncle Ruffy a tattoo machine. And yeah, I didn't know how to set the machine up, nothing. I didn't know how to put the rubber band around the needle. I didn't know how to adjust it. I didn't know the speed of it. So all I knew was I put the image on and just trace. Bro, I mean, everybody like the tattoo came out good. To me, I tore my arm up. Like as it was healing, I was getting these big holes and blotches. I tore my shit up.
Oh,
But I mean, it was a lesson learned. I started finding out how to do this and that through other people, and I mean, here I am now, 20 something years later, tattooing. I'm pretty good, pretty nice at it. Check me out. Look at my Instagram page.
there you go. Oh yeah. By the way, speaking of the Instagram page, what name do you go by on Instagram?
Is Mr. Mr.Gee71 on Instagram. Again, Mr.Gee71. You can
Got it.
see
Look
my
them up.
you can see my tattoos. Yeah.
So you've been involved with the graph. You've been involved with the music. You've been involved with the tattooing. What other areas were you involved with? I know you're out there in the streets doing your thing. So you,
I was involved in some adult entertainment also. Yes. Yeah, man. And nosy as do. I want to, I had all the girls, so I remember one time telling my boy Arion, you remember Arion, our boy? I was like our brother to us. May he rest in peace also.
yeah,
Man,
I'll be on.
bless you guys. But yeah, I remember telling him one time, Arion, I'm gonna be a porn star. He's looking at me laughing. I said, watch. I said, I'm gonna be a porn star. I was just joking around laughing. Yeah, yeah. It's because I had all the girls on me. So I remember one time I went to this S&M bar, not knowing it was an S&M bar. And it was all this shit going on in there. Crazy shit. And I was just like, what the hell? What is this place? And it was like something I'd never been into something like this, you know. So I'm just watching and watching. I'll tell you, and I had my back towards the wall the whole time. And I was just sitting there like, what the hell? So I ran into they had a juice bar. So I go into the juice bar, the chick there, and she starts talking to me. So she tells me, "This is your first time here, right?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "I can tell." And we just started conversating. I mean, it was to the point that she was real cool, and she kept inviting me, "Oh, come next week." Just for, I mean, I would sit there, just go visit her, just to chat. I wasn't even interested what was going around me. And after a while, we just started dating. I wound up taking her out for a date, and we just started dating. And one thing led to another, we started going out, and I moved into her house. I remember I moved into her house, and she had a lot of she had the plug into the porn business. She used to do photo shoots for magazines, and one day they offered her to do a video, and she goes, only way she'll do a video was with me. So then she came to me and asked me, would she goes, want to do a video? And to me that shit, I was just like in my head, this is my opportunity. So I was
Getting
like,
paid getting paid to be with your girlfriend.
so I mean, I wind up doing the scene with her, and then I wind up doing two other scenes. I wind up doing three scenes that same day because some other people they couldn't perform. They was complaining it was hot, such and such, whatever. And next thing you know, they I took over their job, their scene, and they was happy for that. They was like, oh, this guy just did three scenes, like we're gonna use him, and they made fun of me. They were calling me stunt dick and shit like that because I bust three times. But anyway, long story short, I wind up having my own talent. I had guys as porn stars. I had girls. So anytime California people, the companies from California will come to the AVN in Jersey, they will call me up. Gee, we need X amount of guys, X amount of girls. Do you have them? I was sending them flicks, and they were like, okay, cool. So then they touched down in Atlantic City. I run up in their booth. We link up. We set the time when we're gonna shoot this video. We go to a hotel room, and I had everybody making money. Everybody making money, and then next thing you know, um, I did a video track for Shawn Michaels, porn star Shawn Michaels. He needed a Wild Wild West theme. So I had Gems, Art, and Rad um do the soundtrack to his porn theme. So that went well. We got paid for that. I mean, then we was doing other soundtracks for other porn. It was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, then I had my own titles for Devil's Films called Luscious Latinas in
Hmm.
Devil's Films. And I was traveling different countries, getting all these Italian, all the Spanish girls, like from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Hungary, Brazil, and we would go out there and just shoot. And next thing you know, I was putting my own soundtracks into these videos. It worked out for me.
Wow. Amazing. Gifted artist. So what else I know you probably got a lot of shout outs to go through whatnot, but I wanted to go and talk about one of the most memorable moments that occurred to New York City, which was September 11th, 2001. Where were you during that day? I know everyone knows where they were. Where were you that day of September 11th, and did that have any impact on you whatsoever?
September 11th. It was crazy because, yeah, I when that happened, it was crazy. I worked at Wall Street at the time. I worked at 180 Maiden Lane, right by the seaport, and I was supposed to be at work at 8:30, and something happened. I know I was running late, so I remember calling in work and saying I was running late, and I went and started ironing my clothes, put the TV on, I was ironing my clothes, and I remember at the time it was Jerry Springer. I was watching Jerry Springer, and next thing the TV goes blank, the news come on, um, you know, and it's showing the plane crashing into the World Trade Center. And I was like, holy shit. I felt like I was like, is this really going on? Is this real? And I'm watching and I'm like shocked, like, no way. And the whole time I'm like, I get off the train there. I get
Hmm.
off the train at the World Trade Center to walk a couple of blocks to go to work. And I'm just stuck like, holy shit. And I'm still ironing, like I'm in my head is like I'm still going to work, And then here comes the second plane. And I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, there's no way I can go to work now. They're like, I know all of downtown right now is shut down behind this. Like, you know what I mean? I already knew this. So I'm calling my job and they all talking about, oh, don't come in. And everybody's panicking on the phone. Like, oh, don't come in. And I'm like, I'm not. And I was like, make sure you guys get out. And everybody in my job just like left the building. And they're like a quarter of a mile away from the World Trade Center. Seaport's all the way by what was that? The Hudson River, something like that.
Yeah.
No, the World Trade Center is by Hudson River, and Seaport's by the East River,
The
something
South
like
Street
that.
Seaport. Yeah, South Street Seaport.
Yeah. So it's a few blocks away, and I was just like, just go, and yeah, I mean, the job was closed for like a week. I remember,
Mm.
and I was just shocked. But me and my girlfriend at the time, Angel Baby, we went and bought a pallet of just water, a whole pallet, and we was out there, had it dropped off, and we was just giving out water every day to the
Mm.
people, that was out there cleaning the rubble, like the police officers, the fire people that were just helping. So we just offered. I mean, that's what we could have done. We just offer them water, you know,
Wow.
and that worked out okay. Everybody there thank us. he'd take another one, and it was just sad. Like I remember New York City, we were sitting there. I mean, I was shocked, like for months. I remember I used to go sit up on my rooftop in my house and just look towards the city, and it was just like this big mist of cloud, like a cloud, right in Wall Street area. You look all through the city, and then you come and you see that's Wall Street right there. It was just that big cloud. You remember that?
Just hovering, yeah. And during that period, I was still in the military. I
There
was
for a while
actually
too.
stationed there in New York City. I was an army recruiter. I was a recruiter recruiting there in New York City, and I was actually heading to work from Fort Hamilton, where I lived at that time, up to the borderline of Ridgewood, Queens, and Bushwick, Brooklyn, where the recruiting station was on Myrtle Avenue. It's no
Right.
longer. So yeah, that was a really tenuous day, and it was really scary seeing all that before, and
Yeah.
it was bad because we're from there, right? We're from New York City. It's like someone coming into your house and kicking your door and spraying. So it was, yeah, we'll never forget that day. It was horrible.
Like they violated us. I was like, this shit was crazy, you know. And that going on, I mean, imagine the people that really lived throughout wars and when they just bomb their cities, imagine what they really go through, that must be real scary, And regardless what country it is, it's like, you know, you
It's
really just
horrible. It's
yeah,
horrible. We've got that going on in so many different areas of the world. Not to get political or whatnot, but it's terrible because I feel so much for the children as well, where they
right,
can't even grow up without having to worry about a bomb being, shot through their building and demolishing the whole place. It's horrible.
right.
So I see you got a Colt 45 there. What in the world? Are they still selling Colt 45 in the store?
45.
Back in
This
the
is
days,
this
OE was popular and Colt 45.
I got that, and yeah, I'm looking. I'm gonna get the OE one too, but I got that just to remind me back in when I was in like 16, 17 years old, the shit I used to drink.
So tell all the fans out there and the people that are watching and listening, when you open up and you crack open a Colt 45 or one of your beers, what's the first thing you do?
Pour some out for the
Why?
dead,
Well, why do you do it? For the dead, right?
dead
See,
for more.
people, trust me, folks that are outside of New York City or out in other places, they were like, "What? You gonna pour beer on the floor on the ground?"
Go around, you make everybody tap the bottom, tap the bottom, tap the bottom. Then you crack
Yeah,
and you
that's
pour it.
right. That is right. I got something old school in my hands right now.
What is that, cuz? What is that?
Here it is.
Oh, a quarter juice.
You remember
Yes,
these?
sir. Yeah. You
You
get
remember
like a
back in the days, cuz we used to go and buy those quarts of juice, water with sugar and some color in it for like a quarter.
sir, yep. But
Yeah,
those were the best back in the days, I swear to God.
yeah. The 80s was the best era. So you
Yeah,
got some shout outs before we wrap up this interview. Anything else you want to touch upon? This is you. This is all about you. GA,
yeah. Well,
NSK1.
I, I got 3 kids now. My son, Graphic, right, Spyro. My daughter, Raven. I love you. I got a little 9-year-old son, Lucas, and I got 4 grandkids, man. 4 grandkids. And I wish everybody well. I love my family to death. I do this for them, like I stopped being a bad guy just because I wanted to make sure I could have been around my kids, and I feel like I'm doing a great job. I'm not perfect, but damn near pretty good, and bless my kids. They doing their thing. And my little 9-year-old, he's off the hook. Little Lucas, yeah, he's off the hook, man. It's like starting all over again. But yeah, you don't miss a beat. My
And
little
shout out
man's.
to your moms too. Shout out to your moms, Queen.
Oh
Queen.
yeah, my mom's.
And
Yes, My mom's is my everything. You know, I'm a mama's boy. I'm strong at heart, but I'm a mama's boy. Anything with my mom's, you know, I'm always there for my moms. I take care of my moms now. You know, I left New York, moved here just before I can take care of my moms. You know, I stopped life. Like I had business tattoo shop in Brooklyn with my cousin Pup, and yeah, I just stopped. I just had to come up here, make sure my mom's was okay. You know, she has family here, but everybody doing their own thing. You know, everybody got their own little problems. Everybody got to do this. So I get it. You know, they don't got no time to be, you know, trying to cater to somebody else. But I only have one mom's, you know, and she took care of me when as I was growing up. You know, she did the best she could. I got to make sure I do the best I could in return.
Right. Well, you got some shout outs for some folks you want to say hi to?
Yeah, I got a lot of shout outs. I got a whole list just because I don't want to forget anybody.
So are you. So are you.
All right. Shout out to my kids, Graphic, Spiral, Raven, Lucas, my moms, I love you forever. Rad, EC, Flacco, Puppet, Poncho, Little Al, and Mo. Those guys are like my brothers, man. Definitely. Shout out to the BSK crew, WR, TFK, RTAR, CS, AT, Sloan, Vesta, 2L, Gap, Corner, Slick, Skate, KN, Issa, Signal, Crash, Stacks, YO Crew, KA, TKK, Vienna, Cope 2, Gato, Arc, IR, AC2, Milk, Troop, BL, Ice, Blaine, Cess, Tats Crew, Bio, Nicer, and BG 183, Rip to Purr, Dover, Zexer, Ass, Sony, Slick, Joker, and Arion. Shout out to my CT crew, Rook, Riff, VO, Spy, SL, Soft, Aspie, Wish, Fizz, Dag, Scope, Michael Wright, Sin, If, TD, Neo, Bopple, DTF, Scuff, Spot, Jesus Saves, JP, JJ1, CE, Kev, Nash, Hops, F Boom, SR, Rav, ZB, YD, Yes One, Arch, HD, Cap One, Giz, Den, Germs, Topaz, Slash, Poez, Poet, Dawn 357, Riz, Roz, Oh Fuck, FN, Audi, and Pima. And to you, cuz, love you.
Whoa, that's a long list, and all those artists. We don't know how many hundreds of years collectively. If we were to put all their artwork and all their time out there in the streets doing graph or whatever they're doing now, it's got a lot of hundreds of years probably.
Yeah.
GA, man, thanks a lot for coming on, wrapping up this part two. People are gonna be freaked out when they see this part two. Hopefully, everyone catches the first part. Shout out to your brother Rad out there. Hope he does some more music. NSK crew, no self control. Keep it going.
Let me tell you one thing. Yeah, just hit me up on IG is mr.gee71. I got canvases on deck. If you want canvases, I got train maps on deck. I got stickers. I got I got shirts. I got a lot of merch, man. Just hit me up. Let me know what you want. I got you.
He will even paint your car. He will. He will paint your car. So give him
Your
a call.
house.
Hit
Who
him
you
up on
want?
IG.
Check it
Who
out.
on anything?
Word.
GA1, thanks a lot, man. We're gonna catch up
Peace.
and do a war together, you and I. Maybe we'll get in some skelly, and then I'll take you out in basketball like I did back in the days. Cause you never
Hey,
beat me.
sure you did.
You never beat me. All right, let's listen to some more of this track here.
Yo.
Popcorn, Gems, Arc. You're all right. This is U5 News Flash with GA1, NSK crew, no self-control. And we out of here. Peace.
Peace.